Hi, it's Jake from over here at 6th Division with another tip from the lab. Now, the lab is our group membership that we have where we allow members to come to two 90-minute calls each week that are hosted by myself and our CEO, Brad. And they can bring any questions they have as it pertains to creating a client journey, upgrading a client journey, growing and scaling their business. And we have these portions of the call that we call fast forward buttons. They ask their question, we help pick it apart and hot seat it with them, and give them quick, actionable ways they could then go and address that to make the improvement in the journey or add to the journey or whatever other piece of their business they're wanting to look at, their team or their model or whatever that may look like. So on a recent call, we had a client bring a question, a scenario, and I thought it'd be valuable to share what that was with you. So here's what the scenario was. She has created a marketing kind of strategy that she wants to do. It looks kind of like a plan, like hey, we're going to go do these things, essentially like a playbook that we have that help to identify and organize everything we want to do there. And in that has documented not only the plays that are running and where automation is happening, but also what ads they would be doing to drive people forward. Then she documented on her calendar, here's when I'm going to be launching certain things. I'm going to start running these ads here. We're going to turn this thing on here. We're doing this push here. And her business partner then said, well, what's the plan then? And she said, well, I've got the strategy and I've got it on my calendar. And they were like, well, no, what's the plan? What's our end goal that we're trying to do? And as she was bubbling this up, we realized that what she needed to document is what we would refer to as a game plan. Now, a game plan in the sports world, you've got a playbook, which is all the plays that we could go run. You know, we have different types of plays for special teams, for offense, for defense, whatever that may be. You know, in the world of business, you've got plays like a prospect play or lead plays or your client plays, list plays, things that you're targeting different scenarios for. Well, when it comes time to actually prepare for a game, the coach prepares a game plan. So when we play that team, this is what we're going to do because they are good at this or they're not good at that. We're gonna do these types of plays in these scenarios. And they have to be ready that while in the game, that they may have to pivot some of the plan based off of everything. So it may be that what they planned isn't working and they're going to have to pivot and change. Well, the same is true as it pertains to your business. Once a month, you should sit down at the beginning of the month and say, what's our game plan of what we're trying to do? How are we going to hit our goals? And then whether it's weekly or however often you want to review it, that you're stopping to say, well, how are we doing? You know, we've done the first week. We're the first quarter of the game's done and we're behind. We're ahead. Do we stay the course or do we pivot? So I want to talk through what that would look like. Now, the easiest way for me to do it is utilizing something that we refer to as the playbook that we use to organize and identify and organize all the experiences within a business. So let me pop over there real quick. So it looks like this. And the idea being then we need to create the plan. What's the game plan? Well, at the end of the day, there's going to be some sort of a number we are trying to achieve that we are trying to hit. New customers, new clients, a revenue number, whatever the thing may be. And we need to start working our way backwards on how we believe it's going to happen. Well, let's say that number, you know we get X number of people who buy out of this thing. We know that we have X number of people enter this and they come from here and they come from here, whatever that may look like. Well, let's use some real number examples. And I'm going to use nice round numbers so it's easy for me to work through. Naturally, you'd want to use your own based off of this type of a thing. So let's say that what we're trying to do is we're trying to get 10 new customers here. Well, how are we going to get them? Well, we know that there's really only one place that we are getting them, and that's going to be here in this requested consult process. So we know that we need to get 10 people out of here into our bot process. Well, looking at our conversion from the time somebody requests a consult till they convert, it's about 10% of people convert. Well, that tells me that I need to come up with 100 people inside of my consult process. I need 100 people to request a consult in order to drive them forward and know that I'm going to get those 10 people. And where do I get those people from? Well, I believe, and once again, we're guessing based off past data. It is an educated guess to start. Well, I believe that we're going to get 25 people from here. I believe that we're going to get 40 people from here, and we are going to get 35 people from here. That equals a nice round 100. Well, great. Well, same idea. With these lead plays, then, we need to identify that same sort of an idea of, well, how well do we convert that? If I need 40 people, I know that if I get 80 people to request the video, that 40 will request a consult. I know that if I get 75 people to do this lead magnet, 35 will request a consult, whatever that may be. Once again, you're going to use your real numbers, and I'm just trying to use some round math to get to what we're trying to do. And then, of course, out of these individualized plays, we may then say, well, where do we believe those people are coming from? Well, I believe that, to get to this 80 number, that we're going to do X number here, X number here, X number here, here, and here, and so on and so forth to hit those numbers. We now have our plan. This is the plan we're going to go do. What plays we're going to run. And then as it starts running, as the month starts to happen, we start to notice where things are actually trending based off of that. So as the month goes on, we see that we've actually, we're, let's say, a week in or 2 weeks into the month, and we see that we've actually only had 20 consults be requested halfway through the month. Well, that means that we're on track, or we've only done probably 2 people who have converted. So that's going to leave us behind. Okay, well, why is that? Why are we only getting 20? Well, we've only had 8 people, and we've only had 7 people from here, and we've only had 5 people from here. We expected those numbers to be much higher. Well, we expected them to be, if we were trying to hit 80 here, we would expect to be at 40 by now, and we're not. Well, what's got to change? Either we need to find more people to put into the front end that we're trying to get their attention, whether that's be list invites, affiliate pushes, changing ad spend, whatever that may be, or we may need to pivot and we may need to add plays to our game plan to hit that. So you may determine that it's like, well, the thing that makes sense is that we're going to drive some more ad spend here. And so we're going to increase our ad spend, and we're going to increase a little bit of spend here. But we still don't think, we're guessing, we still think that it's not going to be enough. So, well, great. Then we can now play with the lever of, what if we were to run a webinar? What if we went to just put together a live webinar? And this is, once again, just a scenario. It may be a promotion. It may be something else, whatever that thing may be, that we're going to drive people to, and that we are then going to drive them to our service. Well, we know that we're about 8 deficit. If the month continues another 2 weeks, this number may go from 2 to 4. So we need to try and find 6 people. So let's go run this webinar that we can put together, or let's go run this promotion, or let's go run this whatever the thing may be, inviting our list into something else, or launching new processes. Let's go create that and go find wherever we're going to do a list push, affiliates. Maybe there's some ads running to this webinar. I want to try and find 6 people to sign up for my service, so that once 2 weeks has passed, and this number, hopefully, if this number bumps to 40 and stays on track, then this would bump to probably about 4 people converting, and I'm finding that 6 so that we can then have the 10. So along the way that you're actually can make those decisions to say, well, what needs to change? It may be that I need to unpack a play and go say, well, why the heck is this thing not only converting at 10%? Okay, well, let's go look at it. Let's go pick through what are the stages someone could go through. Let's go look at, well, we're losing people. We have, if we had 100 people request here, the show up, we only have 20%, 20 people who show up. It's like, well, great. I could tell you, and 10 people at the end of the day who would sign up. Well, here's the problem. It's your prep and reminders to get someone to show up, or if that number's higher and it's like, yeah, we get 60% of people to book a call, and whatever. And then we actually have, it's here, it's 20, back here. It's like, oh, well, you're losing people in the follow-up. If they don't buy off the call, you're not getting a good follow. Well, let's go target that. How are we following up with them? What else would we need to do? So it helps us to understand where things are happening and build the reports that we can actually make decisions on what we're going to do this month. And are we on track or off track to hit that? Now, you could build a game plan in Excel, in Google Sheets, on a piece of paper, however you feel it's best. But being able to sit down and look at those numbers and come back and review them on a regular basis through the month is going to be super beneficial to you. Now, to take it to the next level, this would be, let's say, the May game plan. And then I would then go create a June and July that, once again, I'm anticipating what's happening, what I believe is going to be doing. Maybe we stop running this play here. We're no longer going to do this lead magnet, and we're going to create a new one. So in June, we're going to go create whatever that is. And in however you track your projects, you're going to track building out whatever new process you're going to do to replace that. You always want to have that, though, 30, 60, 90-day view. But really, it gives you in the month the chance to either pivot or stay the course and then know what's coming down the road as it pertains to the goals you're trying to achieve. Hopefully, you found value in this. Once again, this was from a customer in our lab program and wanted to share that with you. If you have interest in the lab or how we playbook and blueprint, that's part of our journey mapping course. You can find that at SixthDivision.com. I'll try to include some stuff in the description, but feel free to check those out. And hopefully we see you on the next lab tip that we decide to share. Have a great one.